Nicola Sturgeon misled the Scottish Parliament with a claim that her government was not permitted to initiate a probe into Donald Trump over allegations of money laundering in relation to the financing of his golf courses in Aberdeenshire and Ayrshire, a court has been told. The Court of Session was yesterday told the SNP administration was last year urged by human rights group Avars to look into how the Trump organization had obtained the funding for the Turnberry Resort and the Meany golf course. Representing Avars, advocate Aidan O'Neill QC told Judge Lord Sanderson Scottish First Minister Ms Sturgeon had failed to understand the law on a form of investigation known as unexplained wealth orders, a mechanism her government was told it could use in order to look into former US President Mr Trump's finances. Ms Sturgeon told the Scottish Parliament the government was not empowered to launch such a probe, with responsibility lying with the Crown Office's Civil Recovery Unit. Specifically, she explained the Civil Recovery Unit was politically independent from the Scottish Government. But this position was later reversed, Mr O'Neill said. However, then Justice Secretary Humza Yousaf subsequently confirmed the law did in fact allow for the Scottish Government to launch an unexplained wealth order investigation. Mr O'Neill said Mr Yousaf was right in his assessment, describing Ms Sturgeon's apparent inability to grasp the situation as worrying. He added that Ms Sturgeon failed to understand the law and branded it as worrying that she didn't have a proper understanding of the legislation. Mr O'Neill is applying for a judicial review which he hopes will overturn the Scottish Government's decision not to launch an unexplained wealth order against Mr Trump. He said, strangely, the First Minister didn't understand the law and misled Parliament on that point. That's actually significant and worrying, for if they have misunderstood the law once and they are in error, there's every likelihood, unless they get proper guidance from the court, that they could do so again. The Scottish Green Party demanded an unexplained wealth order investigation in February in the face of uncertainty over how Mr Trump had financed the purchases of the courses at Turnberry in 2014 and Meany in 2006. The UK government introduced the UWO orders 3 years ago in order to help investigations into unexplained sources of wealth that could be money laundering. Greens co-leader Patrick Harvey, who likewise backs calls for a judicial review, said Mr Trump's unusual pattern of spending and the ongoing civil and criminal cases in the US had offered the Scottish authorities with sufficient grounds to look into his business dealings. Mr Trump's son Eric said the claims had no basis in fact.